to the visitors. So in the visitors here we have the George Washington University B, USA, and the Amstel Proteus-Eretes from the Netherlands. And we can see a little bit of steering issue there from the crew in the buck station. That is the Dutch crew. You can see the white flag of the umpire requesting the crew to move over. It is incredibly difficult, as we've mentioned, to race without a coxswain. But look how aggressive that Dutch crew is, keeping the rate up very high. They want to get themselves into a good position early on here. It doesn't look particularly easy going, though. Will this come back and bite them later on in the race?
Again, well, we'll see what happens down the track, but it's a very dominant start. I mean, that is a lot of clear water to have at this point of the race. So they have clearly had a strategy of let's get out there, let's put our mark down, let's see, you know, see if they can answer that. Certainly that's a very dominant start. And to have that kind of level of clear water, of course, it gives you real flexibility then. You can watch the other crew, you can try and control your rowing from a much more relaxed point. You're not chasing behind all the time. So it's immediate pressure on the other crew, and that's looking, you can see a bit more tension in the bodies. It's much harder to steer, I think, as well, when you're behind and you feel some puddles coming down. So you could just see the shoulders feel a lot more relaxed in this crew. I mean, it looks quite a golfing class to me at the moment.
Yes, we've moved to the live shots here in the Visitors Challenge Cup. The George Washington University B crew in the bark station, and here on screen we can see the race leaders, the Amstel and Proteus-Eretes from the Netherlands. Such an aggressive start, which has really suited them quite well, because they look incredibly relaxed here as they're coming down towards the remnant club. A very commanding lead now, several boat lengths lead now over the crew from the United States. I spoke to the father of, I think it's one of these boys actually, on the train coming into Henley this morning. He'd just flown over from the US to watch his son, so very proud to have him here competing at the Henley Royal Regatta. I believe it was his first time here. We've had so many crews coming over from overseas, particularly from the US, a huge number of entries this year. So hello to everyone in the US who's watching us on YouTube.
Shows the real strength of this event, doesn't it? And this whole occasion, that even in an Olympic year, when sort of in the past that's seen less numbers of entries, the entries have been higher than ever. This is where people want to come and race, whether they're at school, in a club, or rowing for the national team. At every level now, there's such a great competition here.
And we can see the Dutch crew there on the left-hand side of your screen. They look very long, very clean. It was a little ragged out of the start, but they were just going so hard and so fast to establish that early lead and put themselves into a controlling position for the rest of the race, which is exactly how that's unfolded. And Dutch rowing is so strong at the moment. Of course, the Dutch are winning in Lucerne.
Yep.
And all eyes will be on the Dutch team coming into Rio across a number of events, but certainly the men's 8 will be one to watch.
Indeed, and they always seem to get things right coming into Olympic year. They always seem to really step things up, and suddenly they're contenders for that podium. We can see this crew really showing at every factor that you look at, whether it's the power they've got, the technique they've got, and just the sheer size of them, and perhaps also that, you know, that depth of skill and rowing of flexibility. They are better on all of those counts. I mean, you can see they're not giving up on the other side. That the George Washington University crew, they are here to fight. They're going to give everything they can, but they're really struggling to make any impact now on this very supreme, very dominant and very comfortable rowing from the Dutch crew.
And we can see the crew from the United States, the George Washington University B crew. They're still going for it. And that's what it's about, coming here, putting out your best race.
The Dutch doing a little sprint into the finish, testing what they've got, testing their top gears. Had a little rest, came down in the rate in the middle to get some really good long rowing, and now they're seeing what they've got in the tank so that they know that's there for the rest of the week. So a little show off for the crowds as well, which is lovely to see a crew sprinting into the line like that. Very dominant. They'll be very pleased that they're moving through so smoothly into the next round.
crossing the line there was the George Washington University B crew. The winners of the visitors race was Amstel and Proteus-Eretes from the Netherlands.